Hello, everybody. My name is Lorraine, and I'm from Canada. I have a verbling class for you today at the beginner level. And no, it's not the beginner level, excuse me. It's in case it rains, so it is intermediate. And this is a class that will look at the kind of language that you'll often see on contracts. So if you have to sign a contract in English, you'll see these kinds of words and maybe wonder what they mean. We'll look at that today in this class. So I'm just waiting for people to join me here in the classroom and we can get started. All right, so, okay, that's working. Let me post the worksheet in the box. I normally have this done, but there we go. Okay. All right. So just waiting for people to join me here in the classroom for this lesson on the kind of language that you find in contracts. And so I'll just post the information also in the Google chat. There we go. If you have a reservation for this class, please join us now. We're ready and waiting to have some students so I can begin doing the lesson. If you haven't got a reservation for this class and you'd like to join it, if you wait for about 5 minutes, if people who have reservations don't show up, the button will turn to join again and you can join the class. Right now, I'm just waiting for anyone to join the class. I know that it was fully booked, but nobody's here. So just waiting for people to join me here in the classroom. Hopefully, there aren't any difficulties today in joining the Hangouts. I don't know if it's been a problem today. Sometimes it is. But in any case, keep trying. We have Adrian. Hi, Adrian. How are you today?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine. And you?
I'm good. Did you have trouble joining the class?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
No. I just wondered because I have full booking for this class and nobody was here. So I didn't know, maybe something was happening. Maybe you can't see that I'm teaching. What have you been doing today, Adrian?
Today I shocked. Then I was I bought some grocery.
You bought some groceries?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the first thing you said?
I shocked.
Shocked. Okay.
Yeah.
And bought some groceries. Very good. Okay.
No, shocked.
Oh. Jog.
Yeah. In past is
Jogged.
shocked.
Jogged.
Okay, shocked.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a first sound.
I shocked.
Faisal, can you mute your microphone, please? Bought some groceries. Very good. Okay.
No, shocked.
Okay. My goodness. Faisal, for some reason, we're hearing everything back again through your microphone. Please use headphones when you're in the class. That will help take care of that problem. Okay. All right. So Priscilla, you should try joining the class. It's not going to be too difficult. and we'd welcome you in the class. Come on in. Okay, Faisal, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, hello. Sorry about this issue. What's happened now? Because I start from both from the two pages, so the sound has
Oh,
become
okay.
repeated. So that is what's wrong. Uh,
Okay,
Yes. Okay. So my name is Faisal. I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Okay, very good. Right. What is the weather like in Saudi Arabia today, Faisal?
Now the weather is so fantastic. Actually, not
Ah,
hot, not very hot, not very cold. So that is like spring these days. Also, it's very quiet and peaceful place.
oh, very good. That sounds
Yeah.
nice. I know usually all summer long, all of the people from Saudi Arabia were saying, "It's so hot! It's so hot!"
Yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes the temperature become more than 50. Believe that? Really,
Oh
become
my
more than 50.
gosh, that's
Yes.
crazy. That's
Yes, it's
strange.
like boy.
Everybody would cook.
Yeah, it is it is natural oven in the street. So now the weather is so great, and we are happy now.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah.
nice. Katarina, hi, how are you today?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm good, thank you very much. It's good to see you.
Thanks.
All right, I think I'm going to start. Even though we had full bookings, they're not here, so too bad. Let's get going. I'll just get my screen share going. I've posted the worksheets in both of the chats, so you can grab it from there. There's Hajar. Hi, welcome. Glad to see you. Whoops, well, that was the wrong button to push. Sorry. There. Okay, so if everybody clicks on my icon at the bottom of the page, it will keep this screen share as your main page as we go along. If you can't see the green screen that says "in case it rains," let me know. All right. Okay, so we have 3 questions here, and I want you to try and answer them. Adrian, number 1, when should you use a fire extinguisher?
When there is a fire
Yeah, when there is a fire.
in some place,
Okay,
yeah,
so you can say when there is a fire. That is a normal way of saying it.
yeah, yeah,
But in a contract or other document, they'll often use this phrase, "in the event." Okay, it just
okay,
means when there is, in the event. They mean the same thing. But this is a little more complicated and tends to end up on documents, whether it's a document about fire safety or a contract, okay? When there is a fire or in the event of a fire. Good. Katarina, why do people buy travel insurance before they travel?
Yes, to have a, what can I say? I buy a travel insurance before my travel, so in my travel I don't have problem with, yes, when if I feel sick in another country.
Okay. So I know what you're trying to say, and
Yeah,
there's a really good little phrase that you can use to
okay.
say what you want to say, and this is it. In case. In case
Yes,
something happens to them when they're abroad.
yes,
So in the case of is what this means. So it is talking about something that has not happened. It is
yes,
not necessarily likely to happen, but if it does,
yes,
then the travel insurance takes care of it. And that is used in case. That's the phrase that you use to express that. Faisal, number 3. Should all dogs be left outside when you enter a shop?
Actually, you mean the shop? You mean what's mean by the shop?
A store. A store? A
Yes,
shop
I believe.
is a way that the British say store.
Yes, I believe they have to leave the dogs outside the house, to make it more clean. The house, I think.
Okay. All right. So we're talking about a store, not a house.
Okay, shop. Okay,
Yeah,
so for
shop
the
is like
shop,
a store. Uh-huh. So, and what you said
Mhm.
is okay. Is there any time when you should allow a dog to come into a store?
Actually, you to leave out the dog outside the shop.
Okay, but you don't think there is any time when a dog should be allowed into a store?
I don't think so. So they must.
Okay, that's fine.
Mm.
So there are some dogs that we allow to go into public places like stores or even theaters when it is a guide dog. These are dogs that help people who are blind or deaf or have some other disability. A guide dog is allowed into these places. But there are ways of expressing this. Should all dogs be left outside when you enter a shop? Yes, unless it is a guide dog. So
Yes,
this is saying, go ahead,
sorry.
sorry.
Yes, but you must left outside your dog only if it's a food shop here in Italy.
Is that right? Even if it is a guide dog?
No, if only in the shops there are food. But no,
But
yes, white dog, no, they are everywhere. They can enter everywhere.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moreover, it could be make some chaos inside the shop and do something bad. We don't know. So it's better to leave it outside.
Yes, but when it is a guide dog, they
No.
are working dogs. These dogs allow people who have a disability to move around. Without their dog, they can't do anything because the dog is their eyes or their hearing. So in most places, I don't know about every country, I don't know about Saudi Arabia, but here in Canada, the US, England,
In
guide
Italy.
dogs, and Italy too, dogs, guide dogs, as long as they are trained guide dogs, they're very specific. They have a specific kind of a harness on them, and they are allowed to go into stores. Hajar, what about where you live? Do you see guide dogs sometimes?
No, I don't see it here.
Hajar, are you there? I can't hear you.
Yes? Can you hear me?
Okay. Aka Ken
Yes,
has
hello.
joined us. Hi, Aka. How are you doing?
Yes, yes, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. We're just talking about guide dogs. In Japan, are guide dogs allowed to go into places like food stores with their owners?
Yes, maybe still loading.
I'm sorry, repeat.
Think so. Still loading. So.
Oh, okay, okay. I won't ask you then. All right. So anyway, these statements, yes, unless it is a guide dog. This means that all dogs except a guide dog are not allowed into stores. So the only dogs allowed in are guide dogs. And this is another way of saying it using slightly different words. Yes, provided it is not a guide dog. So unless and provided are the words that we're looking at here. These are, again, two words that you might see in a contract. And they are words that exclude things. Exclude means leave out certain things. Are there any questions?
Teacher,
Yes.
the second phrase
Mhm.
is has the same meaning of the first phrase.
Yes, it does. It does.
Okay.
The difference here is that in this sentence, it is an affirmative sentence. And this sentence, it is a negative sentence because it has not in it.
Okay.
Okay? So if it's not a guide dog, it stays outside. If it is a guide dog, it can come in. All right. So we're going to read some excerpts from contracts. Let's see, we have somebody new who's joined us. Simone, hi, welcome.
Hi, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm good. Where are you from, Simone?
I'm from Brazil.
Okay, very good. Am I saying your name right? I'm doing it the French way.
No, it's right. It's okay.
Okay. I didn't know if with Spanish whether it would be Simone.
Yes, could be Simone. Here, I pronounce it like Simone,
Okay.
but it's okay. Simone, Simone, it's okay.
Okay, super. So let's see. Aka Ken, are you there?
Yes, but I couldn't open the bubbling chat, so I using Google Chat now.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Can you read the little bit of information about what we're supposed to do here? This
Okay,
paragraph.
you will read some excerpts from
Yeah,
contract.
excerpts.
Excerpt from contract. Contracts always need to be read very carefully, especially if it is you who is signing it. Read these excerpts, and then answer the questions. What is
Okay, so
excerpts?
exactly. Everyone's tripping over this particular word. Excerpts means parts of. They're just little parts of a contract that's much, much longer. So when you have an excerpt, it just means this is not the whole thing. This is one little piece of it. Okay?
Part of.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, except is part of.
Yes, part of.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Katarina, can you read this first excerpt for us?
Sorry, this contract will be null. This one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
This contract will be null and void in the event of Wilson Pips Ltd. being sold. A new contract will be drawn up as soon as possible unless either of the parties involved has good reason not to proceed. Sorry.
Good. Okay. Now, does everybody understand null and void? What does this
Null,
mean?
yes, but
I
void,
Okay, Katarina, yes?
void, no. I don't understand what.
Okay. It is a phrase. We're not looking at each word individually in this case.
Mhm.
You'll see this phrase in contracts, null and void. So void just means no good anymore.
Okay.
And null means pretty much the same thing, slightly different meaning. But null and void just means this contract is dead. It is not valid.
Okay.
It is gone. No good anymore. Okay. What will happen if someone buys the company Wilson Pipes Limited? Faisal?
That's one. If Wills, this contract will be null and void in the event of Wilson Pipes. So if I buy from the Wilson, that will be null and void.
Okay, so if Wilson Pipes gets sold to somebody, the contract that we're looking at right now will no longer be valid. It will no longer be a binding contract. It's null and void.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that is what is the meaning of that is sentence.
Exactly. Yeah, the contract will no longer be in effect. Good. Simone, why might a new contract not be possible in the future?
Because they say a new contract will be drawn up as soon as possible. So, unless either of the parties involved has good reason not to proceed. So, drawn up, what's the meaning? I don't know.
Okay, when a new contract is drawn up, it means that a new contract is written. Drawn up just means written. A new contract is written.
Is what? Sorry? Written.
Written. To write,
Okay.
and the past participle is written.
Oh, okay. So I thought it was another thing. So actually, I
No,
don't know.
it's just okay. So we have an unless here. A new contract will be drawn up as soon as possible. So a new contract will be made, written as soon as possible, unless. So as soon as you have this word unless, then we have a change. Something else could happen. In this case, either of the parties involved has good reason not to proceed. Well, this is a complete out of a situation, because when the company is sold, the new contract will be drawn up with the new people, unless they don't want a contract, is what this is saying. They just say, no, I don't want to proceed. Now, what's a good reason to not proceed? Who knows? It could be anything. So the drawing up of a new contract will happen unless somebody doesn't want to do it, and then it won't. So why might a new contract not be possible in the future?
Because
Either party to the contract can decide to not draw up a new one. So
Yes.
they just don't want to do it. All right? So these phrases, in the event and unless, are very, very important words in contracts because they make a complete change. Something will happen unless something else happens. Okay. Are there questions? We have a bunch of these. So we'll go on to the next one. Let's see. Adrian, can you read this excerpt for me, please?
Full rent is payable on the fourth day of each month, and we should be informed on that day whether you wish to vacate the property.
Vacate.
Big
The word is vacate.
vacate
Good.
the property or not. Provided no damage is found this last month, rent will be returned to tenants who are l- living.
Leaving.
Living, yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, so there's lots of vocabulary in here that you might not understand. So does anybody have a word that they want to know what it means?
Yeah, what mean you wish to vacate? What mean vacate?
Okay, vacate. This means to leave, to vacate. You think of vacation. Vacation can mean when you go away on holiday, or it can mean when you leave. Vacate is that verb, to leave, to vacate.
Okay.
Okay? So this
Another
is when
one?
you want to leave that apartment, you want to go someplace else, and you give in your notice.
Okay. So
Okay?
clear.
Anything else?
Yeah, tenant. The last
Tenant. Yeah,
tenant.
tenant. A tenant is a person who is renting an apartment. So the person who is renting the apartment is called the tenant, and the person who rents out the apartment is called a landlord.
Sorry, I don't get it. Tell
Okay,
me,
do you live in an apartment or a house?
a house?
Okay, do you own the house?
Yes.
Okay, then you are not a tenant, you are an owner. But if you lived in the house and you did not own it, if you paid rent to somebody else, then you are a tenant of the house.
Okay, it's very clear. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right, what is this contract for? Akaken?
Yes, seems like this contract is for renting apartment, renting room.
Okay. All right, so we're renting, could be anything, could be a house, could be an apartment, a store, a room. It is some place where you are going to either live or run a business. Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
I have a question.
Mhm.
I don't understood the part of the phrase you wish to vacate the
Yes.
property or not. Is
Okay.
I
So again, the language in contracts is very complicated. So all this is saying is when you want to leave, you need to tell us
okay.
ahead of time.
Okay. You have to uh, uh, tell
Yeah.
owner. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this has to happen when you pay your rent on the 4th. So if you're deciding that this is the last month you want to stay there, when you hand in your check on the 4th, you also say, I want to leave at the end of the month.
Okay.
Okay? So both of those things you've got to give your landlord 1 month's notice. Okay, what happens on the 4th of every month? Faisal?
Yeah, I will pay for the rented apartment.
Yes, this is when you pay. Exactly. So you have to pay the whole thing. You can't just say, well, you know what? I've only got $300. I'll pay you the other $200 in a couple of days. You can't do that. He's asking for full rent. All right. Now notice the words that are underlined. We have whether and provided. So whether is a word used when you are talking about two different things. So whether you wish to vacate the property or not. In this, the way I read this one, you need to tell him on the 4th, yes, I want to leave the apartment, or no, I want to stay. So you have to tell them one way or the other. And provided...
So,
Mhm.
can I ask, that means we have to claim every month, every single month?
Well, in this contract, I would read it that way because they say not as well. So we should be informed on that day whether you wish to vacate the property or not. So to me, that's saying that every month you have to let them know, yes, I'm staying, or no, I'm not.
I see.
Now, that would not normally be in a contract. The person who wrote this lesson probably should not have used this or not because of what it means. And that's the thing with contracts. You have to read them carefully.
Yeah.
Because a lawyer will say, in this case, you've got to tell them every single month. And that just, you know, contracts for rentals don't do that. They always say, you must tell us when you pay the rent, whether or not you're staying.
Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
whether it is the same to if? Similar.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You could use if as easily in this sentence.
Okay.
Right. Now, provided no damage is found, this last month's rent will be returned to tenants who are leaving. What does this mean? Carolina, what do you think that means?
Provided no damage is found. I don't understand. Only provided no damage is found. The second part I understand.
Okay, so when we have the word provided, it means that as long as no damage is found, then you get your money back.
Long
as long as. I'll write this in Verbling chat.
Okay.
And in Google Chat because
As long as.
Ken only has.
Okay, sure. Now I understand.
So
in,
go ahead.
So yes, if in the house they don't find like a damage.
Damage.
Yes, a damage. They give you the last rent.
The last month's back. Yes. Often in North America, anyway, I don't know about other places. When you rent an apartment, you have to give your first and last month's rent at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if your rent is $500 a month, it's $1,000 right off the bat.
Yes.
Then
and they give you the 500. Yeah. Here too.
The same thing. Yeah.
Yes.
In some places, they call it a damage deposit.
Damage deposit.
So if when you leave your apartment, they come in after you've got all your stuff out, they take a look. There's the paint on the walls is not scratched or broken. The rugs aren't filthy dirty. The fridge doesn't have green crawlies in it. Then they give you back your damage deposit. So when we say provided no damage is found, read it as long as no damage is found or there is nothing wrong, then we'll give you back your money.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another one. Faisal, can you read this one, please?
Yes, absolutely. Part 6, the employee is responsible for information Harrison software built. In the event of absence from work due to being sick, please ensure a friend or family member has our contact details in case they need to call us on your behalf.
Okay. So this word, can you read it again, please?
Informing.
Yes, informing. The employee is responsible for informing. All right, and this is just PLC, Harrison Software PLC. I don't know what that means, but it's the name of the company.
Okay.
Often we see LTD, which means limited, so I'm not sure what PLC means. Okay, so who has to call the company if the employee is sick? Adrian?
Who has to call the company if the employee is sick? Yeah, uh, on, the employee.
Yeah, the employee. The employee is responsible for calling in and saying, I'm sick.
Yeah.
Now, Ken, why does the employee need to give the company's contact information to a friend or family member?
Because in case of they need to that maybe they if the employee cannot call, their friend or family member needs to call.
Okay, so maybe, you know, the employee got hit by a car and is in the hospital and can't call, so a family member will need to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what in case means. In case something like that happens, it's not likely, but if something happened where the employee can't call, somebody else needs to. Are there any questions about any of the language in this paragraph? All right.
What is the meaning of
Go ahead.
behalf?
Oh, yes, on your behalf. Good
Yeah.
question. Yes. Behalf means instead of you.
Instead
Yeah.
of you.
So it's a lawyer. If you run into trouble and you need to go to court, you don't usually go to court and represent yourself. You get a lawyer to do it for you. And we say the lawyer is defending on your behalf. So instead of you, he's there.
Okay.
Okay. So this is where you need to have the document so that you can look through the document. There are words that are underlined. And we have some definitions here. So I want you to find the word that means to prepare now for a future possibility. Katharina.
Sorry, I don't understand what I'm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have the worksheet downloaded? I have chats for this document that I'm using.
Okay.
Okay, and in those paragraphs, those excerpts from contracts, there are words or phrases that are underlined.
Okay, yes.
And one of those underlined phrases means to prepare now for a future possibility.
Ah, yes, sure.
Which one?
I can see the other page.
You can't see it?
No.
Oh. Okay, the link works. So if you click on the link, you should be able to find them.
Yeah. So.
The only thing is that I see they were not kind, and they did not underline the words. I did it in the. All right. Sorry about that. All right, I'm going to go back on my PowerPoint to make it easier. Whoops. So I've got in the event, unless,
Yes.
whether, provided, in the event, and case.
Okay, to prepare for now for a future possibility. Maybe whether.
Whether is a word that is more like if.
Ah, okay. So I don't know really.
Okay, so when you're preparing for a future possibility, then it was like that situation where if you can't call because you've been hit by a bus, then
Yeah.
somebody else has to call for you. So in order to do that, you make sure that you give your family members contact information. So in that paragraph, what was the little expression or phrase that means about possibility? It's underlined.
Yes, so in the event,
That's when something actually happens. The
So in
event is that I'm not there.
yeah, in
But
case.
in case, yes, in case is when you're doing something so that if this very minor possibility, we're going to make sure that something can happen. Oh, I gotta get back here. We're preparing for a future possibility in case. Okay, in case I get hit by a bus. Here's my contact information. All right. Now, this is something a little bit different. If this happens in the future. So this is something that happens. And it's something like in case, and people get these two things mixed up all the time. Faisal, what do you think the phrase is that we should put down for if this happens in the future?
I think in the event.
Yes, in the event.
The event.
Okay. Now, the difference here, when you have an event, it's something that is happening. So, in the event of fire, so it means only if you see a fire do you use the fire extinguisher. So, in the event of fire, use the extinguisher. So, they're explaining, they're giving you instructions what to do. But also, there is in case of fire. So this means that you're going to have a fire extinguisher available, but you're not going to use it unless the event actually happens. Okay.
What about an order of?
I'm sorry, repeat please.
In order of.
In order of.
It is same.
No.
Okay.
You wouldn't see in order of. In order that is a phrase. In order that. So you have a fire extinguisher on hand in order that you may put out a fire.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay. Only if. So in one of these paragraphs, we have only if. Adrian?
Only if. Yes, maybe provide.
Yeah, I think it's provided. Let me just check. I'm pretty sure that's what this one is. Yes, only if. So you get back your money only if there is no damage in the apartment.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes?
In between the first and second, which is the most likely event? You do you understand?
Which one will you see more often? Is that what you're trying to ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Well, the first and second is are similar,
Yes, they are very similar,
very
and
similar.
people confuse them, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. Which is what is the difference between?
Okay, Adrian, let's leave that question for 1 minute because I have a slide where we look at those two, okay?
Okay.
So let's just finish getting the meanings for each of these things first. Akaken, except for these circumstances.
Unless.
Okay, good. And what about if? Katarina?
Yes, they told before. Yes, I always don't find the link. I don't know why.
All right, well, I'll go back here.
Yeah, okay. In the event, no.
No.
No. Weather, sorry.
Yes, weather.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. So I don't know if you people know how to take a screenshot, but if you want to take a picture of that so you can keep it for your records, or if you download the worksheet and write these things down on the worksheet so you remember what each of these means.
Yeah.
And we'll go on. Okay, these are the confused words. Unless versus if. Okay, Faisal, can you read the two sentences here?
Okay. You will fail the exam unless you study.
Okay.
You will fail the exam if you don't study.
All right. So these two sentences basically say the same thing, but they say them differently. You'll notice that in the sentence with if, it is a negative sentence because it's don't study. So in one case, you're told how you can not fail the exam by studying. So it is certain that you'll fail the exam, but there is one way that you won't fail the exam. You study. Okay? You'll fail the exam unless you study. Now, you'll fail the exam if you don't study. So we're being told, you know, the same thing, but in the negative, if you don't study. So you use if with the don't and the unless with the affirmative. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's okay.
So same meaning.
Mm-hmm. Same meaning. Exactly
Okay.
the same meaning, but said a different way.
Yeah. Okay.
In both cases, studying is important, and without the studying, you will fail an exam. Now, in the event and in case is a little bit different because these two things are saying something a little bit different. So let's see. Adrian, can you read the two sentences, please?
Use the fire extinguisher in the event of fire.
Okay.
We have the fire extinguishers in case there is a fire.
Okay. So in the first sentence, the word event means that a fire is happening. It is a fire. And the first sentence is giving you an instruction. The instruction is that you use a fire extinguisher to put out a fire. In the second sentence, what it's telling us is that there are fire extinguishers available. And the reason the fire extinguishers are available is so that if a possibility happens that there is a fire, we have fire extinguishers on hand. Do you see the difference, or is it not clear? And I understand if it's not clear because it took me a long time to figure these out.
Okay.
I had to learn this lesson before I could teach it.
It's so clear.
Okay. Now, why do I have that? Unless tomorrow is a better day, we won't be going to the park. So, what are the chances of going to the park tomorrow? Katerina.
Yeah. If
What
tomorrow.
is today like?
Sorry?
What is today like based on this sentence? What is today like?
Okay. Today is not a good day, maybe.
Yeah, it's not a good day.
Yeah.
Not a good day at all.
Yeah.
So what has to happen in order for us to go to the park?
Yes, it must be tomorrow a better day.
Exactly. So this tells us a lot of information, and it tells us information about a day that we're not even talking about, because today is a bad day. Tomorrow has to be a better one. Okay, so that's using unless. And this is saying the same thing, but a little bit differently. Faisal, can you read the sentence?
Okay. If tomorrow isn't better day, we won't be going to the park.
Okay, now this says exactly the same thing, but what's the difference between this sentence and the first sentence? Adrian?
What?
What is the difference between this sentence and this sentence? This one uses unless, this one uses if. What is the difference in the sentences?
Yes, the first part of this those sentence is, are different. The first is affirmative. The second, when use if, is negative.
Yeah, we're using more negative in this one. Yeah, with the if. Good. Okay, and here's another version of in case. So, Akaken, read this sentence, please.
Okay. You take an umbrella with you in case it rains.
Is it raining?
No.
Okay. So you're going to take an umbrella
Just
because it's insurance. Yes, it's insurance against whether it's going to rain.
Yes.
Now, the difference with this one. Katharina, read it.
Yeah. In the event of rain, open the umbrella and hold it over your head.
Okay. So we're giving you advice about when there is rain falling down. This is what you do with the umbrella.
Yeah.
So in the first one, you're talking about having something with you as insurance, so that if it rains, you've got something. But the second one is giving you instructions about what to do with that umbrella.
Maybe the one is like an advice of a friend, or an informant.
The whole thing is
Formal.
Yes, and
it has
informal.
nothing to do with formal or informal.
Ah, okay.
It has to do with having something with you
Yeah.
and using that something. One
Mhm.
is strictly just having it. For instance, in the fire, we have the fire extinguishers, so they are on hand. Now, this advice, use the fire extinguisher in the event of fire. If there are no extinguishers available, you can't use it. So it's good advice. This is what you do. You use a fire extinguisher to put out the fire. But if you don't have one, then you can't use it. So we have fire extinguishers available in case there's a fire. Do you see the difference?
Yes,
So the
yes.
fire extinguishers are sitting on the wall, but there's no fire. But when you have a fire event, you take the fire extinguisher off the wall, and this is how you use it. All right, and in this case, you've got an umbrella with you. It may not be raining, but you've got the umbrella under your arm, so you've got it with you. Then, when it rained, you opened the umbrella and held it over your head. So that's the event. The event is the rain falls down. So remember, the event is the thing actually happening, whether it's raining or whether it's a fire. So let's, oh, we hardly have any time. I'm sorry, I've taken a long time over this. Fill in the blanks. Faisal, can you do number 1 for me, please?
Yes, I think that GMT, the working days, just tell in case.
Well, we have a that, and so we can't use in case. That doesn't work.
Okay. Provided.
Um,
In the event that,
yeah, I think it's in the event.
yes.
For capital letter.
Okay, so again, we're giving advice or explanation of what to do. So in the event that Jane sees it, this is what you do. You just tell her the dog ran into it. Okay, one more and then I have to go. Akaken, number 2.
Okay, bring my phone number with you when you travel in case you need to get in contact with me.
Exactly. Very good. Okay. Unfortunately, I have to go. I have another lesson right after this. So thank you, everybody, for joining me for this lesson. I hope it's been useful, and I hope to see you soon in another lesson. Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you,
Bye
teacher.
bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.